Welcome to our training series on component placement decisions you want captured in Altium Develop. Discover how every move on the printed circuit board is a crucial product decision, ensuring your reasoning is preserved. Placing components on a printed circuit board is more than routing. It's about shaping the product's appearance, feel, and functionality. Decisions are made quickly, often undocumented, leading to lost reasoning. The solution is to capture this placement reasoning in Altium Develop as you work, ensuring design intent is preserved. The pendant board is a circular printed circuit board designed as a wearable accessory celebrating women in technology. Key components include a coin cell battery, light-emitting diodes, and a button. Each placement decision impacts comfort, aesthetics, and functionality. The board's artwork and layout constraints guide these decisions, ensuring a harmonious and intentional design. The coin cell battery is strategically placed on the bottom layer of the pendant board. This decision ensures a flatter profile, enhancing comfort and aesthetics. It also keeps the front artwork clean, allowing the star design and light-emitting diodes to shine. Additionally, this placement facilitates easy battery replacement without affecting front-side components. Light-emitting diodes are strategically aligned with the star artwork, ensuring the glow complements the design. This intentional placement enhances visual unity between light and art. Despite design constraints like silk and copper clearances, multiple iterations refined the alignment for optimal effect. The button placement was designed for natural thumb interaction akin to a watch crown. This ergonomic approach ensures the button is easily accessible without hiding the artwork. Testing involved both mental and physical trials to determine the optimal position. Such ergonomic considerations are not typically found in schematics and require separate documentation. Documenting design reasoning is crucial. Without it, decisions like battery placement or button positioning become lost memories. A finished board may look correct, but the rationale behind choices fades. Future engineers need more than it felt right. They deserve clear, documented insights to avoid guesswork. Capture design decisions in an Altium Develop thread, clearly titled threads for team clarity. Document battery placement for accessibility, light-emitting diode alignment for cohesive design, and button positioning for natural interaction. Use before/after screenshots to show layout evolution. An Altium Develop placement thread serves as a collaborative hub for all disciplines. Mechanical engineers assess comfort and constraints, product designers ensure aesthetic alignment, firmware engineers address test point access, and manufacturing highlights assembly needs. This shared space fosters comprehensive cross-functional review without needing non-printed circuit board members to access the design file. Once the team agrees on final placement, the Develop thread becomes a permanent project record. It ensures future revisions reference original decisions, aiding engineers in maintaining or consciously altering designs. New engineers quickly onboard by understanding product thinking through placement threads, fostering trust and expediting cross-discipline reviews and approvals. Documenting placement is crucial for complex products. Electromagnetic compatibility issues arise from component proximity to high-frequency traces. Thermal placement affects sensor accuracy. Manufacturability depends on assembly orientation and clearances. Serviceability is impacted by battery and connector positions. User experience is shaped by button and display placement. These decisions are vital for product success. Capturing and reviewing placement reasoning before tape-out can prevent or highlight potential failure modes. This proactive approach ensures that issues are visible and debatable, reducing the risk of costly errors in the final product. Building documentation skills starts with small projects like the pendant board. Practicing on simple placement decisions helps teams develop the workflow and discipline needed for larger projects. Teams that document early consistently outperform those that wait for issues to arise. Effective placement documentation involves 3 steps: place, document, and review. Experiment with positions in Altium Designer. Document your intent in a develop thread with screenshots and tag stakeholders for feedback. This quick loop ensures lasting documentation and enhances flexibility and value throughout the product lifecycle. Select a crucial placement decision, like a connector or sensor. Experiment with positions in Altium Designer. Open a develop thread, title it clearly, and explain your choice. Consider comfort, clearance, or signal integrity. Add before/after screenshots and tag stakeholders for review before finalizing. Documenting your board's design decisions creates a valuable record. This aids future revisions, enhances review quality by focusing on decision-making, and strengthens team understanding across disciplines. It's more than a layout, it's a comprehensive insight into the product's development process. In this session, observe the live placement of components like the battery, light-emitting diodes, and button on a pendant board using Altium Designer. The reasoning behind each decision is captured in real time with Altium Develop. As an exercise, document one placement decision from your current project before the next session. To make the traces, we will use this option here called interactive routing. There is also a shortcut which is Ctrl+W. I will click on it here and choose which layer I will route first. Down here, I always need to select whether I am on the top layer or on the bottom layer. I will start with the traces on my bottom layer, which is the side where the blue components are. And I will make the connections between these electronic components. So I start by clicking here and then I start pulling a trace. You can see that my trace already has a measurement which comes from the software default. I can modify this measurement here in Properties. By default, Altium leaves a minimum value, a preferred value, and a maximum value. And ironically, they are usually the same values. So we have to modify this so we can have a different trace size. I'm going to cancel everything here and go to Design, then Rules. Here, I will look for the routing part of my traces. I come here to Routing, then Width. Let's click here. So here I have the minimum, the preferred value, and the maximum. They are all in millimeters. I'll leave the minimum as the value Altium suggested. For the preferred value, I'll put double that, and for the maximum, I will put 1 millimeter. I'll also leave a link for you in the description of this video to an article called The 10 Commandments of the PCB. It has different information on how to do better routing. It explains where and when you can use a thicker trace and where it is recommended to use a thinner trace. Most of the information I used to design my hardware in a better way came from these 10 commandments. Right now, I'm leaving something a little more standardized because I'm more interested in showing you how to manipulate Altium Designer. But if you want to go deeper into this subject and study more about routing, the 10 Commandments of the PCB is definitely an article that will help you a lot. The link is also in the description of this video. Now, here on my traces, I can come to Properties and change the width to 0.5. This makes my trace a little bigger. For simple boards, I like to keep the trace as close as possible to the size of the electronic component pad. So here I set it to 0.5 and I think it looks really good for this electronic component. Let's start routing. Just click and follow all the indications here. These yellow indications are the connections we have in the schematic. So Altium guides my trace to connect to the pads where I need to build a connection. Every time I click somewhere, it gives me an indication showing that I need to connect here and here. It shows where these connections need to happen. Remember that what is on my top layer is not on my bottom layer, so what is in blue can easily pass through and cross what is in red because they are actually on completely different sides of the board. But now, when I click here, I can see that I have an electronic component on a different side. I have an electronic component on my bottom layer here in blue, and it needs to connect to an electronic component on my top layer, which is in red. For this, I will create a via. A via allows me to make a hole in the board and send that signal to a different side. I will come to this option up here called Place Via I will modify it here to pad. Then I will position one of these pads here on my board. I'll put it more or less here. Now I can see that this trace I was bringing here has a number or an identification. It shows which connection this trace belongs to. So I come here to my via and I also change its property. This is my net, this is my connection. So I come here and select which net this via belongs to. I select which trace it is participating in. I bring this property to it. Now I can come back here with my routing and click on it. As soon as I get to the via, I can change here to my top layer and continue from there to the electronic component that I need. Now you can see that it is already in red, so it will already connect with the electronic components on the top layer. Here you can see that for this connection, it would be interesting if this component, this LED, were facing the other way. Otherwise, the traces will end up crossing each other. You can see because of these yellow lines that later I will have to pull a trace like this. So if I do this now, it will limit my ability to make the connection without so many complications. Before finishing this trace here, I'm going back to this electronic component and I'm going to rotate it. I have not routed the GND traces on this board. That is because an interesting practice is to create a ground plane on this board. With a ground plane, I can spread GND all over my board, fill my GND with copper, and isolate only the traces that are not part of GND. This is a very common practice. You can make GND planes, VCC planes, or a plane for a specific signal. I will show you that this is an easy technique to use here inside Altium Designer. We just click on Tools, then Polygon Tools, and then Polygon Manager. Here I will create a new polygon from the board outline. Altium has already created a polygon on the top layer. I will do the same thing again, creating another polygon so we can put one on the top layer and one on the bottom layer. I will select the first polygon here. I will say that it is on my top layer and the net it belongs to, meaning the connection it needs to connect to, will be my GND. After that, I can click Apply, then I click Yes. I can do the same thing here for my bottom layer. I will put it on the bottom layer and I will say that it is also my GND. In this case, on this board, it will be useful for me to make both the top and bottom layers GND. This will make the connections easier because I don't have many connections on my VCC. I also don't have any signal that repeats itself. So for me, it will be more advantageous to put both sides as GND. I click Apply To, and now I click OK. Now I can see that my board is filled with errors. There is a lot of chaos happening here. This is because now we need to repour the polygons. We built polygons and the traces are invading the areas of these polygons. So I'm going to right click here, I will come to Polygons, then Polygon Actions, and I will choose Repour All. Okay, now yes, look, Altium created the correct areas here on my board. I can keep modifying the views so I can see my top layer and my bottom layer. But I can observe that there is still a connection that was not built. Even though the GND on the top layer is connected to itself, I still need to connect the GND on my top layer with the GND on my bottom layer. For this, again, I will place a pad. Now, I will position it more or less here, and I will set its property to GND. In this case, as soon as I clicked, it already came with this property. So it already solved the problem, and the trace has already disappeared from here. But if it had not done that, I would need to select the net manually, like this, and select GND. Now, yes, I'm very satisfied with the design of our board.